Well, hey folks, I'm here in my shop, and on top of this here table, which is actually an old door, I'm going to make a PVC chicken feeder. I don't know where I got this idea from. It could have been from another YouTube video. I have no idea. I can't remember. Could have been Popular Mechanics for all I know. So what we're starting out with, we need some. What I'm using 4-inch PVC Schedule 40. I think you can make this out of a smaller one, out of 3-inch, but I don't know if this little adapter will fit into the elbow. I'm just using 4-inch because it holds a lot more, and I'm actually not using these to feed my chickens. I'm using them to give them their supplements. I already made one, and I use it for their oyster shell, or crushed oyster shell, for their calcium supplements, and it seems to be working pretty good. And the main reason why I'm doing this is because chickens are extremely wasteful, and the calcium supplements are expensive. They're not cheap, and I don't want them to waste it. So the idea is you have an elbow right here, and the food goes in from the top. The chicken has to stick its head all the way in here to get at the supplement. And so when it's in there pecking around, because when chickens peck, they go hard, and there's little explosions of grain or whatever they're eating going on either side, all over the ground, all over the floor. And so the idea is that they had to stick their head all the way back inside of here to get it, henceforth keeping everything inside of the feeder. So I haven't found any scraps of stuff, nothing on the floor around the current one I have set up, so it seems to be working pretty good. So we're going to make another one, and this is for their wintertime grit. I'm in northern Minnesota. Ground freezes solid as a rock in the winter, and lots of snow, and they need to be supplemented with some grit so they can grind up their food in their gizzard. So what we're going to need is, we need 4-inch, this stuff right here, 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC. I picked up a 2-foot section of it because this stuff is ridiculously expensive right now. You can find them at most of your home improvement stores. They'll have the big long 10-foot sticks of this stuff in one area probably, but over where you find your regular fittings, different fittings, you might be able to find 2-foot sections, and this works pretty good. So it saves you a little bit of money. So 2-foot piece of that, and I cut a 2.5-inch length off the end of it. 2.5 inches. We're going to need that for the bottom side. So we got the 4-inch, 2.5 inches long. You're going to need some 2-inch PVC. You can buy this in 2-foot sections as well. This one is exactly 2 inches long. You're going to need a 3-inch to a 2-inch adapter, just like this one. Okay, and this is all Schedule 40, by the way. Be careful you don't get sidetracked in the sewer side of the plumbing aisle and picked up the wrong ones. What you want is, you want your 4-inch elbow, right, just like this, and you want to be able to fit this adapter down in here, just like that. And we're gonna epoxy that in there in a second. But what it does is, there's a channel that all the grain could come down into the elbow, and they get their food out of here. Okay, and you want this 2-inch piece right here will actually go inside of there, and it will keep the grain or supplements or grit coming out of the top, right at the bottom level of this right here, of this part of the elbow. Okay, all right, so you need that. You need these two things right here. Pop that apart. And you're going to need 2 of these. These are what they call test caps. All right, and what they're used for is, they're basically a waste product. When you plumb an entire house, you have to pressure test it, and you are going to have a lot of pipe that needs to be open and connected to, like connecting washers and other bits and appliances and stuff like that. And buy these because these are cheap, compared to the actual end cap for 4-inch PVC Schedule 40, this is only a few dollars. Those ones are like 10. And they fit really nice and snug, which is a plus, because we're not going to glue either one of these on, okay? All right, so get those out of the way, those out of the way. I've got regular PVC, clear cement right there. I have clear primer, okay, because I'm not getting inspected by a plumbing inspector, so I'm not going to use purple primer like this to prove that I actually use primer, because I want to, it doesn't need to have all that purple. I want to keep it all nice and clean looking. So clear primer. All right, you're going to need some epoxy, okay. I have Loctite. This is a metal and concrete. I had it. It's been sitting on a shelf for about a year. I'm going to use it. I'll tell you a secret. It still bonds plastic pretty good anyway. So that's what I'm using. But if you really want to be particular, go pick up whatever brand of epoxy you want. That's for plastic, and it'll work just fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix up some of this epoxy, and we're going to take this adapter, 3-inch to 2-inch adapter, and we are going to now take a look at your elbow first. See how it's going down like this? All right, that way the chickens can reach down and in, okay? Vice if it's the other way, the grain's going to spill out too. So this is the top in this particular application. All right, so I roughed up around here, around this edge, on this 3-inch, 2-inch adapter, and I roughed up a little bit on the inside of here. And what we're going to do is we're going to fit this inside of there, and it'll get to a point where it kind of stops, and we're going to epoxy right around there. Okay, so I'm going to get some epoxy mixed up, and we'll get to the next step. This stuff is gray colored. I guess it's made to match concrete. It's been sitting for a year. It doesn't really want to come out. Okay, now it's coming out. Let's get about 50-50, I guess. This is turning into a mess, but it'll work. Goodness. Pretty thick stuff. Guess we'll just let it come out. Still don't think we got enough. Get out of there. All right, the light gray side needs to catch up a little bit here. Okay, that should be more than enough. Put this somewhere where it's not going to make too much of a mess. All right, so this stuff's got a 20-minute set time. Go ahead and get this mixed up and we'll get it applied. That looks like JB Weld. I wonder if it's a copycat. Yeah, this just might be Loctite's version of JB Weld. If so, we're in good shape. We'll get this thing glued together. It'll never come apart. Alright, so over where you can see, all I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you this whole process. Well, maybe I will. All I got to do is get it all the way around this top edge. Just get it in there. That's all you got to do. Doesn't have to be fancy, because once we get this thing closed up, you'll never see it. Good stuff. It's already setting up back where I started. Make sure I got plenty in here. There's a hole right there. Okay, we're gonna let this sit for about 20 minutes and then we'll assemble the rest of it. Okay, we're back. It's been about 25 minutes and this epoxy has hardened up like a rock. So it's good to go. We're gonna start assembly, but first, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would invite you to do so. Mostly because I'm trying to make this channel awesome, and tomorrow's video is something you do not want to miss. There's been a lot of days of my life that have been really happy, and tomorrow, it's one of them. It's gonna be, in my mind, it's gonna be epic. It's just, it's gonna, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's gonna probably show a lot of you guys my vision for this channel and what I want to do with my farm, and it's gonna be really exciting. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that notification bell so that you know when I post that video. I'm actually gonna try to film everything tomorrow, edit it, and upload it all in one day. And we'll see how it goes. I think I can do it. Hopefully it doesn't rain, but I don't care. Nothing's gonna stop me on this video tomorrow. It's gonna be absolutely awesome. You're gonna love it. So let's get back to putting this thing together. All right, so the very next thing we gotta do is we gotta put the little 2-inch doohickey down there, and that's this. All right, so there's 3 things we gotta glue, because we're not gonna glue these caps on. They're friction fit, and they actually friction fit pretty tight, so there's no reason to. Plus, you wanna be able to get the one off the bottom so you can clean it out if you need to clean it out, and the one on the top you wanna be able to get it off so you can fill it up as needed. So these don't get glued. 2-inch, 4-inch, and then the larger 4-inch gets glued in. So here's my primer. I'm using, like I said, clear primer because I'm not getting inspected and I want this thing to look pretty. I don't need purple stripes all over it. So on this one, actually both these, we just gotta prime one side of it. All right, so just gotta get around there, clean it up, get the junk off of it. Something I learned a long time ago is that if you're starting to take some of that ink off there, you're getting it cleaned up. Okay, this kind of doesn't, it gets the grease and dirt and stuff off there, plus it etches the plastic just a little bit. So this one as well. Get that all primed up nicely. Get that off to the side. Then we'll grab the end that I didn't cut. No, we'll grab the end I did cut. That's not perfectly square. And we'll prime that. Okay. Get it all cleaned up. All right, everything's primed. Let's go ahead and roll off the table on me. All right. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, by the way. This stuff, rather volatile. So I got my clear cement. The first one we want to put in is we want to put that 2-inch doohickey right down in there. So, actually I need to prime these as well. What am I thinking? Let's get priming first. So prime the inside of that 3-inch to 2-inch adapter. And we'll prime here. And this part we don't need to touch at all. Okay, got everything all nice and clean. Get rid of this stinky stuff. Now we're going to glue this 2-inch by 2-inch. It's 2-inch PVC Schedule 40, 2 inches long, and we're going to glue it in right there inside. Okay, let's get some cement on the inside. Get everything coated really good all the way around. Make sure we put cement on the side that we primed. Nice little coating. We'll stuff it in there. I'm gonna get this all the way in. Turn it, hold it, let the chemical reaction happen. You want to hold it, otherwise it'll just push out, because as that chemical reaction happens, it heats up and it just swells everything and tries to push it out. But only a few seconds and it's done. Okay, so the bottom of that 2-inch, if you look in there, is just below this bottom edge. Okay, that's the way nothing spills out when it's full. Okay, all right, so let's put this other 2.5-inch long 4-inch PVC Schedule 40 into the bottom. Don't be shy on these 4 inches, they take a lot of glue. You can always wipe up anything that spills out. Okay, should be good. These ones, 4-inch, you really got to hold them in there. Otherwise they really try to push out. Good. And to finish off the bottom, there's that test cap. Pops right on, and you can always wiggle it back off when you need to clean it out. See, nice and tight, won't fall off on its own. There we go. That's done. Okay. Let's see. This up a little bit. Now we're going to put this into here. Same thing. Whole bunch of glue. Well, actually, it's called cement, but a little bit more. Okay, nice coating all the way around. Now we'll get this. You hear that? A fly has met his demise in my bug zapper. He just doesn't want to die, does he? Snap, crackle, pop. He's still going. All right, press this one in here. Give it a little bit of a turn and hold it. Okay. And all there is left to do is to figure out how you want to hang it up. I suppose you could just set this on the ground and just put a bungee around it against the wall. I actually, what I do, and I'm not going to do it today because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to hang this, but I'm probably going to just cut a keyhole right up here and then just have a screw sticking out of the wall, and I'll just hang it like that. Otherwise, this kind of finishes it up. Put the cap on, and there you got it. Doesn't exactly fit in the, well, it does fit in the frame. There you go, chicken feeder out of PVC, and it'll probably last forever, quite frankly. So like I said, I'm using these for my grit and my oyster shell supplements, calcium supplements for the chickens. I got a bigger feeder for the rest of my chickens because I got so many, but this will do great. They won't be able to waste anything, and make it easy for them to access. So like I said, tomorrow's video, it's gonna be awesome. You're gonna love it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, sure would appreciate it if you did. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload the next video. See you around.